there is a learning with each experience in the businesses that I've had. This is now my third venture, and I believe my last, because I just want to be doing this for the rest of my days. In every relationship that I've had, and even in every date and conversation that I've had, I've learned something. And then just what I'm learning about this topic is so interesting to me and so exciting. And the field of sexuality is really growing, and there's more research. There's more research into women's health. All this it's just such a great time to be doing what I'm doing. Hello and welcome. I am Karen Bigman, your host of Taboo to Truth and a newly certified Sexual Health Alliance sexual educator, a menopause coach, and a curious woman who wants to learn as much as she can about the field of sexual health and impart that wisdom on to you. This podcast has been an incredible journey for me. At the age of 60, I launched this, and it is really, truly my purpose in life, not just for me, but for you, to really help educate not all genders about what options there are for you, and to make life much more interesting and exciting, and to have great sexual health, which is very much part of your overall health. There are three areas I tend to cover the most. The first being issues around women's health, in particular menopause. The second is how to expand and grow and have a more robust and healthy and enjoyable sex life. And then lastly, I talk about my own journey, my personal, my relationships, my dating. And each one of those topics is super important to me on every level. And it's also information that you have been asking for. When it comes to menopause, every vulva owner will go through menopause, and that includes trans men. If you have been born with a uterus, with ovaries, you will go through menopause. And so it's important that you understand that those changes are perfectly normal. I recently heard somebody saying that it's the reverse of puberty. So it's puberty where all the hormones are going up. But menopause is when all the hormones are going down. And there are a lot of changes in the science, and has shown more recently, there's been a lot more research around it, that menopause and that shift in hormones affects every system in your body. So all these crazy symptoms that seem to have no connection actually are connected. Your physical body, how you feel, your joints, the night sweats, the heart palpitations, dry mouth, itchy ears, frozen shoulder. There are so many things that they now know are related to menopause. And so there's a lot to be learned about it. And the most important thing is, as women, you need to know that you are not alone, that these are things that we are all experiencing from one extreme to another. Not everybody suffers terribly from symptoms, and some people suffer really, really badly, and they're debilitating. And there are treatments out there, whereas 20 plus years ago, there was a whole bunch of information that linked breast cancer to treatments, hormone treatments for us. That is no longer the case. They have learned a lot more, and there's a lot more information. And I try to impart that information to you in many of the episodes I've done, some of the experts that I've interviewed, and some of the live events that I have had and will have coming up. So stay tuned for more of that. Second topic, which is not unrelated to menopause, is the subject of sexuality in midlife, of sex, of your sex life, of having a healthy and happy and fulfilling sex life, because it is not something you really want to put on the back burner. Your sexual health is super important for your overall health. It helps with your cardiovascular health, helps with your muscle health, it helps with your immune system. Just think about the pleasure you get from having a sexual encounter, an intimate encounter. All those happy hormones are fluctuating all around, and it's making you feel good. All these things are critical to help you live a long and healthy life. And it also, good sex has been linked to healthy and long, happy relationships. So just think about, you could be having sex with your partner forever. And if you're not partnered, well, you could be having great sex, solo sex for the rest of your days as well. So that information on how to spice up your sex life, how to address sexual issues, how to introduce new modes of sexuality, whether it's changing the way that you have sex or opening up your relationship. There are a lot of things that I talk about to help you just really be aware that there are things out there that are beyond vanilla, as Dr. Chris Donahue just said at the conference I was at, as vanilla, monogamous, Sunday morning, lights on or lights off, however you do it, sex that we've been having for our whole life. There's really a whole world of possibility that is out there. And I talk about that a lot. And I really am on a mission to make sure that everybody's having some really great sex. And then the last thing I talk about is a little more personal to me, which is my dating life and my singledom, which I have been on and in and out of relationships for the last 10 years. And there's something therapeutic about talking about it, and whether it's oversharing or not, it's kind of just, it's who I am and what my struggles are. And I think that a lot of people can relate to them. I've been on and off the dating apps for quite a while, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the technicalities of the dating apps, but I've also learned about a lot about myself and about where I want to be and how I've grown and how I've changed. Recently, someone said to me, the person who shows up for you shows up where you are in life. And I feel like that has been so true for me, because when I have been in a bad place, somehow I've been in a bad relationship. And as I get better and stronger and clearer, I find that the partners that I'm dating seem to be much healthier as well. And I will say that it has not necessarily been this journey without some tears, but for every tear, there's at least one, if not more, funny stories. And more importantly, there is a learning with each experience in the businesses that I've had. This is now my third venture, and I believe my last, because I just want to be doing this for the rest of my days. In every relationship that I've had, and even in every date and conversation that I've had, I've learned something. And then just what I'm learning about this topic is so interesting to me and so exciting. And the field of sexuality is really growing, and there's more research into women's health. It's just such a great time to be doing what I'm doing. So I just want to thank you for tuning in. I want to let you know there's so much more to come. I have some incredible guests coming up that you won't want to miss. Some really, really big and well-respected names in the sexual medicine field. I have some great sexperts coming up, really interesting people that I've met along the way that have changed their lives and their sexuality or their sexual repertoire. And I want to share all that with you. So, and if there's topics that I haven't covered or that you would like to cover, or questions you have about episodes that I've had, please feel free to reach out to me. You can go over to my website. I've got a little download there called the Pleasure Playbook if you're interested. If you want to give me your email address, if you just want to ask me a question via email, you can reach out to Karen at Taboo to Truth. Follow me on Instagram. I've actually got two handles, but my main one is Taboo to Truth. I also have another one called Sex and Menopause, which kind of feeds into that. And I'm here to help support you through the journey, through your sexual journey for the rest of your life. And so I hope it will be a really wonderful, pleasurable, and enjoyable one. So grab your favorite drink and put me on speaker, because it's time we broke the silence.